This is Virginian White Sauce. They bring it to the table.
Let me give you a little bit of the history on the white sauce because this stuff is absolutely delicious. And I'm going to go ahead and make some while I tell you about the history. So white sauce was invented around the 1970s in Norfolk. And yes, I said Norfolk because it's not Norfolk. I'm not from here. It was created at the El Toro restaurant, and originally it was just salad dressing. But people liked it so much that they eventually just added it as like this little dip that you get for free. No, like the salsa. Now, El Toro was bought by a Willie Jenkins in the 70s, and we don't actually know if he came up with the recipe or if it was the original owners. But luckily, somebody was able to get one of their family members to spill the beans and give us the recipe. And basically, it's exactly what's in the recipe. Milk, cumin, oregano, red pepper flakes, and a special ingredient, Miracle Whip. Now, I think we all know that Miracle Whip is a little different than mayonnaise, but technically just a little bit. See, Miracle Whip has less oil than mayonnaise and has some spices in it, so it's a little healthier. I mean, as healthy as eggs and oil can be. So in the video, you can see that the creator just kind of dives right in, and it's very watery. So you're supposed to refrigerate it for like 48 hours so that the sauce can kind of infuse with the red pepper and the spices and, you know, thicken up a little bit. Good enough. Now, other local restaurants say they don't use that recipe, but they taste very similar, so they're not too far off base. The one I'm making today, I'm not going to need to refrigerate because I'm just going to add the milk slowly till I get the consistency that I want. But first, we're going to make mayo. Yes, I said it. We're going to make some mayo. Probably need a little more vinegar. It's closer. Oh, I need salt. We're just going to salt the taste. Oh yeah. See, that's a nice light-ish mayo. It's very good. That's so good. So I'm just going to eyeball my recipe here, and we're going to get this mayo in here. Once the mayo sits a little bit, it becomes a little more firm. But here's our base. We're going to add some more garlic powder to it. I believe the recipe calls for like a teaspoon of garlic powder or something like that. And I like mine a little garlicky, so maybe 2 teaspoons. It's not science here, I'm just eyeballing. I believe it's about 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. We're gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons. It was actually about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, so extra cuminy this one is. But I'm also gonna do a larger portion of the red pepper flake because I like the red pepper. So it calls for about 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna do a tablespoon. Yeah, just get in there, I don't care. And to like give this thing a little extra kick, because I think this is great. We're also going to do about 1/2 teaspoon of this. This one doesn't need a whole lot. Now just mix it together. Now because this one's just a little bit more watery, I might not add as much milk, but I will add just a little bit. Just a little splash. Like I said, it's going to thicken up in the fridge. Okay. So you can go ahead right away. You can see it's a little more runny. It should be the consistency of mayonnaise, but maybe not as thick. So this does need to sit a little bit, but you could just dip a chip in there right now and it'd be delicious. But I'm going to add a little extra heat to mine. I'm going to do a habanero. Seeds and all. These are some leftover nachos that I made last night. I'm just gonna take the tortilla here that I also made by hand. It's so good. Try it. It's super easy, and you can customize it any way you want. But what I'm gonna do today is add a little extra kick to it. I'm not measuring this. I'm just gonna put a spoonful in there. Oh yeah, that's good. This stuff is so good on anything. You can dip your chips in it. You can put it on top of a burrito, put it on some enchiladas. Shoot, the nachos, you know, it's just endlessly delicious. I mean, I could just eat spoonfuls of this stuff. So good. I'm gonna let it sit in the fridge so that it does get to the right consistency. I'm not gonna show you guys that because that's just gonna take too long. I'm just gonna store it for later in one of these. And that's it. And that's Virginia white sauce. This stuff is so delicious. And I promise you, if you stop at a restaurant here on the coastline of Virginia, you won't be disappointed. You know, you've got Norfolk, you've got Virginia Beach, you've got Hampton, Newport News. If you stop by any of the Mexican restaurants here on the coast, you're going to thank me because this stuff is awesome.